quick one on sock puppets. Not the ones that you put on your hand and you like play with. This is under fair use for educational, informative purposes. This obviously only applies to the person. I'm not a person, I'm a man. So, well, I'm an individual, I'm a man, I'm very much alive. Thank you very much. Sock puppet accounts unmasked by the way they write and post. It's from The New Scientist. I'll leave a link in the description. Sock puppets are the scourge of online discussion. Multiple accounts controlled by the same user can dominate comment forums and spread fake news. But now there's a way to unmask the puppeteers. A study of 9 websites that use comment service Disqus to let readers post responses to articles found that sock puppets can be identified based on their writing style, posting activity and relationship with other users. In the era of fake news, detecting sock puppets is important, says Srijan Kumar at the University of Maryland. Whenever multiple accounts are used by the same party, it is harmful and it skews the discussion, and fake news can be propagated very confidently, he says. Kumar and his colleagues at the University of Maryland and Stanford University in California analysed commenter accounts on news websites including CNN, NPR, Breitbart and Fox News. They identified the sock puppets by finding accounts that posted from the same IP address, in the same discussion at similar times. This approach isn't always possible, so they wanted to develop a tool that automatically detects sock puppets based only on publicly accessible posting data. They found that sock puppets contribute poorer quality content, writing shorter posts that are often downvoted or reported by other users. They post on more controversial topics, spend more time replying to other users, and are more abusive. Worryingly, their posts are also more likely to be read, and they are often central to their communities, generating a lot of activity. Based on their findings, the researchers created a machine learning tool that can detect if 2 accounts belong to the same individual. Well, I'm going to call them person because that's what they are. 91% of the time. Another tool can distinguish between a regular account and a sock puppet with 68% accuracy. The research will be presented this week at the World Wide Web Conference in Perth, Australia. This is the most comprehensive investigation of sock puppets in discussion forums, says Meng Jiang, who studies suspicious online behaviour at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. But given that the group used sock puppets already identified by their IPs, it's impossible to know if the tool could detect sock puppets the IP approach missed. He says a real-world system would likely... Trolling on the internet, sock puppet accounts disrupt conversation online. Like I said, fair use, which applies to the person. I'm not a person, I'm a man, I'm an individual, very much alive. This is basically... another one here, I'll leave a link in the description. Reality challenged. Trolling on the internet, sock puppet accounts disrupt conversation online. Ever been in the comments section under a YouTube video and thought, what the fuck are these lunatics talking about? Chances are you've seen or even taken part of a comment thread that's been created and curated by an internet troll or sock puppet account. This first blog will focus on the impact that sock puppet accounts can have on online discourse between members of the public and niche audiences led by individuals with vested interests. This is going to be an introduction to the darker side of the internet and how sock puppet accounts are used for trolling. In the New Scientist article, that's one I've just read, so I'm not going to read that bit because I've just read all that bit there to you in that last video. Trolling that comes from various sock puppet accounts generated by a single user or coordinated by a group of users will often parrot an online community's echo chambers, talking points, especially the ones that are designed to provoke a disagreement or an emotional reaction. Trolls do this so that they can lead an audience off topic and disrupt any meaningful conversation that might shed a light on information they'd rather others not see. In a previous blog article I pointed out how computational propaganda that takes the form of fake or follower bots is used to inflate subscriber/follower numbers and give the appearance of someone or something being more popular than it actually is. This is commonly done to garner real-world support for a person or individual or cause that has little to none. Building off of the idea of computational propaganda and follower bots is the fact that niche content creators on social media platforms like YouTube can create multiple accounts. The reason for doing this is to create a fake audience and daily commentary beneath their own YouTube videos in order to fool real users into interacting with, liking or sharing the video. These fake accounts are often used to voice inane support, attack any detractors/critics, ask questions, or for things on behalf of an audience/community, and to generally give the impression that the thing they're shilling is far more popular than it actually is. What is a sock puppet account? In the TechCrunch article, Spotting Sock Puppets with Science, writer Devin Caldwell points out how sock puppet accounts tend to be active around the same time and in the same threads, but seldom start new discussions, and they have certain linguistic characteristics that set them apart from normal users, more I and you, and generally worse grammar, and they're mostly focused on current affairs. And this is a bit about off a wiki. And the reasons for them include rigging voting results, rigging discussions by creating a sock puppet who agrees with your argument, or rigging discussions by creating a sock puppet who makes deliberately extreme or moronic, usually straw man arguments against your own view. So we get that a lot, straw man arguments against us. Attempts to avoid rules or blocks or scrutiny, boredom, LANCB, but returning under an assumed sock, or wandalism. I'll have to have a look at what wandalism is, I don't know what that is. The two reasons for sock puppetry that are the most obvious when dealing with the suspicious observers online community are rigging discussions by creating a sock puppet who agrees with the argument, and rigging discussions by creating a sock puppet who makes deliberately extreme or moronic, usually strawman arguments when all else fails. Sock puppet accounts are used to insult or threaten in an attempt to disrupt online discussion. I'm not going to read any of this bit here, because it's not relevant. It's just saying how they work on this, how they were doing it on this website here and everything else. The science of internet trolling. It's no secret that YouTube channels often have resident trolls, or are either the creators themselves using multiple sock puppet accounts to post supportive comments, thumb up posts and attack any detractors. Well, we see that a few times on some videos, don't we? On their own channel, or a supporter/follower who acts as a patsy. In this way, abusers of social media can create multiple follower bot accounts that serve to support their cause and create the illusion of popularity as they go about profiteering off of the ignorance and gullibility of certain members of the public. And I think that's this bit here about the follower bot accounts that serve to support their cause and create the illusion of popularity as they go about profiteering off the ignorance and gullibility of certain members of the public. That's done by design. That's part of the psyop in all this, I think. That's done by design. Not everybody, I'm not saying everybody. Some people are doing it because they're in that mentality where they've got to make money from it and everything else. But the truth should be free. You shouldn't make money from it. It's wrong to make money from it, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But there is individuals out there that are doing it by design because they want to discredit and everything else and make it look like we're all in it for the money and that when we're not. Yeah. In other cases, the more obsequious followers of these personality cults will pretend to be multiple members of the online community by utilising sock puppetry and the abundance of time that they have on their hands. While this blog article is not meant to accuse anyone of anything, so like I said, I'm not accusing anyone of anything, I'm just pointing out what's going on. It is meant to report on the history of deceptive tactics that individuals can employ in order to support or attack people/things they agree or disagree with. There is nothing noble or endearing about being abusive on the internet, but these trolls can rationalise all kinds of abhorrent behaviour, so we shouldn't be surprised at all to hear any number of excuses. What we can do is be aware of the obvious tactics that internet trolls and sock puppet accounts and that use, and identify the repeat offenders in an attempt to dissuade them from carrying on with their repetitive sadistic behaviour. There's a video here, I'm not going to play it, but I'm just going to go for these are some points in the video. I'm going to leave a link, like I said, you can come back and read it, watch the video if you like in a bit, at your own leisure. It says, while many people do enjoy chatting and debating issues online, approximately 5.6% of individuals self-identify as trolls, or say they enjoy trolling online. So scientists studied a group of 1,200 internet users to understand these internet trolls in particular, and found a myriad of something called dark traits. Specifically, online trolls were found to display high levels of psychopathy, narcissism, and most specifically, sadism. That is, people who enjoy the pain of others. Now, most people tend to avoid inflicting pain on others, and if we do, we experience guilt or remorse, which is what you should do. Yeah. But for sadists, cruelty can be exciting and pleasurable. These people aren't necessarily serial killers or bad people, but they get an emotional reward when causing or observing the suffering of others. But internet trolls show very high levels of sadism and have fun distressing others by being argumentative and disruptive. Studies have also documented a link between these individuals and antisocial behaviour. So are these individuals different in real life? Not likely. The studies suggest that those traits carry over into their regular day-to-day and reflect one's actual personality. But since the internet offers anonymity, antisocial individuals can connect with similar others while distancing themselves from their acts in terms of personal responsibility. The unfortunate part is that trolls do not only comment more but receive more replies, and the average user suggesting that they are quite successful at luring others in. On top of this, negative feedback only stimulates a harsher response from the trolls, and their behaviour becomes worse over time with more feedback. The next time you're being trolled, just remember, they want to disrupt you, and they feed off your unhappiness. Ignore them, and they're likely to diminish their effort. So you're likely to diminish their effort. The most important takeaway is that internet trolls not only have more time to respond to comments, but actually take a sadistic pleasure as they receive an emotional reward in arguing with and abusing others over the internet. It's best to heed the old adage of don't feed the trolls, as it's time to let the bastards starve. I don't know about this bit now. But this bit here about don't feed the trolls, it's time to let the bastards starve. Yeah, we shouldn't feed the trolls. It's time to let the bastards starve. I agree. We shouldn't feed the trolls. But we have to learn what the difference is between a troll, a sock puppet account that's being used for nefarious means and stuff like that. So then we can the sock puppet accounts, yes, we can just going to add a bit onto the end. Some of these trolls, they're trolling because of what I've said in the last bit of the video. The sock puppets, some of them are doing it for nefarious means, like I said. But you're also going to get sock puppet accounts and trolls and stuff like that who are defending, and people that are just generally defending the globe and everything else. Basically, the ones that are just doing it because they don't know and everything else, they just do it because it's something they believe to be true. They're just classed as useful idiots, because it's a term for a person or an individual perceived as a propagandist for a cause of whose goals they are not fully aware, and who is used cynically by the leaders of the cause. So the powers that should not be, all these people that are defending the globe and everything else, they're laughing at them because they're using them cynically. Yeah, they're laughing at them, watching them defend the bullshit. Not just the globe, all the other bullshit as well. They're watching them all defend all that bullshit. Yeah? So the powers that should not be are laughing at these people for defending all that bullshit. All we're doing is asking questions and starting to think logically and critically and everything like that. Yeah? I, for one, myself, like I said, well, I'm saying we, I can only speak for myself, that's what I'm doing. And I think there's other people out there like that as well, from what I've seen. Yeah? But basically, all we're doing is asking questions and saying, well, show me your proof. Show it me practically. Demonstrate it practically for me. Show me your claim. Yeah? Asking questions, being critical, being logical, and just looking for the answers and stuff like that. Not having to appeal to any authority or believe anything and stuff like that. Yeah? And we're getting ridiculed for being intelligent